My dear friends, the world is full of rules. Rules that control behavior, rules that judge mistakes, rules that focus only on what people see. But I did not come to give you more rules. I came to give you a new way to live. Everything I taught can be understood through three simple but powerful truths. First, love above all. Not love that is convenient, but love that changes hearts. Second, forgive without limits. Not because people always deserve it, but because your heart deserves freedom. And third, live from the heart, not for show. Because faith is not a performance, and truth does not need an audience. These are not religious laws. They are life-giving principles. If you live by these three rules, you will not just follow my teachings, you will reflect my heart. So listen carefully, because these rules are not about looking right on the outside. They are about becoming right on the inside. First rule, love above all. My dear children, the world you live in today is full of rules. Rules about how to live, how to speak, who to accept and who to reject. Everywhere you go, someone is telling you what is right and what is wrong. But when people came to me and asked, "Teacher, which rule matters the most?" I did not give them a long list. I gave them one truth: love. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, and love your neighbor as yourself. There is no rule greater than this. There is no command deeper than this. You believe rules can make you holy, but I tell you the truth, only love can change the heart. You can go to church every week. You can pray the right prayers. You can speak holy words. But if love is missing from your heart, you have missed the meaning of my message. I sat with those the world called sinners. I touched those people were afraid to touch. I welcomed those society pushed away. Many judged me for it. But I chose love over judgment, because love is the only language that a broken heart understands. My children, love does not mean you are always right. Love means you choose understanding over pride. Love means you listen before you accuse. Love means you care even when it is uncomfortable. Love does not stop when someone hurts you. Love does not disappear when you are rejected. Love does not turn bitter when you are misunderstood. You think love is weakness, but I say to you, love is the greatest strength you will ever know. Love can turn enemies into family. Love can heal wounds no rule can touch. Love can bring light into the darkest places of the human heart. Look at your world today. People are divided by religion, by race, by status, by opinions. Everyone is shouting, "I am right." Very few are asking, "Am I loving?" I tell you this, if you learn to love, you will not need 1,000 rules to guide you. Because where love lives, there is no room for cruelty. Rules can change behavior on the outside, but love transforms a person from the inside. When you feed the hungry with compassion, when you comfort the hurting with kindness, when you forgive someone who does not deserve it, in that moment, you are walking with me. I never asked you to be perfect. I never asked you to have all the answers. I only asked you to love with a sincere heart. Love without conditions. Love without fear. Love without keeping score. Because when you love, you are not just following my words, you are living my life. Do not use rules as a weapon against others. Do not use faith to build walls. I did not come to divide hearts. I came to heal them. If your faith has no love, it is empty. If your worship has no compassion, it is noise. If your beliefs do not lead you to kindness, they are incomplete. So remember this one rule, my children, the rule that stands above all others. Love is the greatest command. Love is the truest faith. Love is the path that leads to truth, peace, and life. And never forget, where love is, there I am. Second rule, forgive without limits. My dear children, forgiveness is one of the hardest things I ever asked you to do. I know that. Because forgiveness is not just about words, it is about wounds. You live in a world where people hurt each other deeply. They lie, they betray, they disappoint. And when you are hurt, your heart says, protect yourself, hold on to the pain, do not forgive. But I tell you the truth, holding on to anger will never heal you. When Peter came to me and asked, Lord, how many times should I forgive someone who sins against me? 7 times? I answered, not 7 times, but 70 times 7. I did not say this because people deserve unlimited chances. I said this because your heart deserves freedom. Forgiveness is not saying what happened was okay. Forgiveness is not pretending the pain was small. Forgiveness is not forgetting the wound. Forgiveness is choosing to release what is poisoning your soul. Some of you carry anger that is years old. You smile on the outside, but inside, your heart is tired. Tired of replaying the moment you were hurt. Tired of waiting for an apology that never came. My children, forgiveness is not for the one who hurt you. Forgiveness is for you. When you refuse to forgive, the past controls your present. But when you forgive, you take your life back. I forgave those who mocked me. I forgave those who beat me. I forgave even those who nailed me to the cross. Not because the pain was small, but because love is greater than pain. You say, but they do not deserve forgiveness. And you are right, they may not. But neither did you deserve grace, and yet you received it. Forgiveness breaks the chain of hatred. It stops pain from passing from one heart to another. It ends the cycle of revenge. You think forgiveness makes you weak, but I tell you, forgiveness takes more strength than revenge ever will. Anyone can hate. Anyone can walk away with bitterness, but it takes courage to forgive. You must stay where you are being hurt. Forgiveness does not mean you ignore injustice. It means you refuse to let anger rule your heart. Some of you are waiting for the other person to change, but forgiveness is not about their transformation. It is about yours. When you forgive, you make room for peace. When you forgive, you make room for healing. When you forgive, you make room for love to breathe again. Look at the world around you. Nations hold grudges. Families are divided. Friends become enemies. Everyone remembers what was done to them. Very few remember how much they themselves have been forgiven. I tell you this, if you want to live free, you must learn to forgive deeply. Forgive even when it is not fair. Forgive even when it is not acknowledged. Forgive even when it hurts. Because bitterness will build a prison in your heart, and forgiveness will unlock the door. I am not asking you to erase the pain. I am asking you to release it into my hands. Let go of the weight you were never meant to carry. Let go of the anger that steals your sleep. Let go of the resentment that dims your joy. Forgiveness is a journey. Sometimes it happens instantly. Sometimes it takes time. And that is okay. Take one step, open your heart, and choose forgiveness again and again. So remember this rule, my children, the rule that will save your heart. Forgive, not because others are worthy, but because you are called to be free. Forgive, because love cannot survive where bitterness lives. And never forget, when you forgive, you walk in my footsteps. Third rule: live from the heart, not for show. My dear children, many of you live your lives in front of an audience. You are watched, you are measured, you are judged. You are taught to look good, to sound right, to appear strong. But I tell you the truth, what you show the world is not what defines you. What lives in your heart does. In my time, there were people who followed every rule, spoke every holy word, and stood in every sacred place. From the outside, they looked righteous, but inside, their hearts were empty. They honored God with their lips, but their hearts were far away. My children, faith is not a performance. Prayer is not a show. Righteousness is not something you act out to earn applause. I did not come to make you look holy. I came to make you whole. You can raise your hands in worship, yet keep bitterness in your heart. You can speak about love, yet refuse to show kindness. You can appear faithful, yet hide pride and judgment inside, and still miss me completely. I do not measure you by what others see. I measure you by who you are when no one is watching. The world rewards appearances. I look for truth. You clean the outside of the cup, but inside there is anger, envy, and fear. I am not impressed by polished words or perfect behavior. I desire a sincere heart, a heart that admits weakness, a heart that chooses humility, a heart that seeks truth, not praise. Stop living to impress people who cannot heal you. Stop chasing approval that never satisfies. You were not created to perform. You were created to love. When you give, do not do it to be seen. When you pray, do not do it to be praised. When you serve, do not do it to be noticed. Do it because love lives in you. My children, a life built on appearance will eventually collapse. Because pretending is exhausting. Because masks are heavy. Because false strength always breaks. But a life built on truth will stand firm. I know your hidden struggles. I see the tears you never share. I hear the prayers you whisper in silence. You do not need to impress me. You only need to be honest. Let your faith begin inside your heart. Then let it flow into your actions. Not to be admired, but to bring healing. Look at your world. People are desperate to be seen, yet afraid to be known. But I tell you this, the moment you stop pretending, you begin living. Do not trade your soul for likes, applause, or approval. Do not build your identity on what fades. Build it on truth. Build it on love. Build it on me. Focus on these lines. My dear children, when the noise fades, when the crowd disappears, and when the lights go out, what remains is your heart. Not your image, not your reputation, not your performance, just your heart. Live in a way that does not need an audience. Love in a way that does not need recognition. Believe in a way that does not need applause. Because in the end, the life that matters most is not the one that looked holy. It is the one that was honest. And remember this truth forever. I am not looking for perfection. I am not impressed by appearances. I am drawn to sincere hearts. So live from the heart, walk in truth, and you will never be lost. Because where your heart is, there I am. My dear friends, if these words touched your heart, don't let them end here. Carry love into your actions. Carry forgiveness into your relationships. Carry truth into your daily life. And if this message spoke to you today, take a moment to like this video. It helps this message reach more hearts. Share your thoughts in the comments, because your story might encourage someone else who is silently struggling. And if you want more messages like this, messages of love, grace, and truth, subscribe to this channel so we can continue this journey together. Remember, you don't change the world by being perfect. You change it by being faithful, loving, and real. Walk in love, live in grace, stand in truth. And wherever these live, I am with you.